Hello everybody, it's Jennifer McCreath. Today is November 29th, 2022, and today is day 73 since I suffered my knee injury. So I'm going to start what's known as the Chronicles of the Great Canadian Waiting List. Since that's what our healthcare essentially is all about. You get injured, and then you wait, and you wait some more, then you keep waiting. And maybe, just maybe, you'll eventually get the help you need. This is well documented. I hurt my knee 73 days ago. And I went to see my family doctor shortly thereafter. And an x-ray was ordered. I asked about an MRI. And I was told no. Family doctors, at least the one I have, doesn't have authority to directly send me for an MRI, and I have to go see a specialist. I said, well, we can x-ray this if you like, but I'm pretty sure it's a soft tissue injury, a tendon or a ligament. And, well, okay, I'll go get the x-ray, which I did, came back negative, as I expected. And I was told 3-month wait to get in to see a specialist who will then look at my knee and then hopefully authorize an MRI, which could be another 3 months. I have no idea. But I will give Eastern Health a little bit of credit. They said it would be 3 months, and I got my appointment booked for what will essentially be a little more than 3 months after the injury, and almost exactly 3 months to the day that I visited the family doctor. So that's at least something positive. Meanwhile, the horrors of an untreated injury have come true for me. I guess it's unfortunate in a sense that I didn't injure it enough to justify emergency treatment or emergency surgery. I can still put weight on the leg, so I can still basically hobble around on it. But when you try to walk around on a bum knee, you're like walking with a limp, and you're putting all your weight on the other leg. So guess what? The other knee is now extremely painful, and the other foot is now suffering from numbness. My inability to get proper exercise has unfortunately resulted in some weight gain, which is already an issue for me. And it's led to what I believe is further problems with the injured knee as well. The development of arthritis can, what's the word? It goes faster. Accelerate in the meniscus, and 73 days of what's also likely a meniscus injury has caused significant pain and perhaps some more arthritis. I've still got major swelling in the knee, as well as 2 quasi-clots, which I'm assuming is scar tissue, where said ligament was likely snapped in half, and it's trying to heal itself. But you can't magically put together a severed ligament, so it just sits there and swells up on you, basically. And of course, I hurt the injured knee. I hurt that ankle a week later when I took an awkward step. So I now have 2 bad knees, 2 bad ankles, 2 bad feet, and 1 frozen foot, I guess we'll call it. Along with a very bad back and significant weight gain and lack of overall physical fitness. It's also contributed negatively to my ability to have proper sleep. So I haven't had a decent, well, I haven't had a good sleep for 30 years, but specifically the past 73 days, very difficult. So I feel like a zombie. It's also, when I get to this state of exhaustion, it proliferates another one of my medical conditions known as dermographism. Google that one. It's not fun. It requires Benadryl, which makes you drowsy, and it's very difficult to function in life when you're under the influence of Benadryl. The non-drowsy stuff doesn't work. I have to take the regular stuff. But the dermographism it's a histamine reaction that leads to strong itching on the skin surface. And it can hit me anywhere in the body. And I either itch it until it bleeds or I take a Benadryl. So yes, the Great Canadian Waiting List. Oh, we haven't talked about the financial implications of this. When you can't walk properly, it makes a short walk seem like a long walk, and it makes a long walk seem impossible. So there's a lot of walking that I usually would do in the course of my regular life. I would go to the grocery store, I'd go to the drugstore, I'd go to the bank. Where else would I go? Maybe the pond. I haven't been to my favorite spot, the pond, to see the ducks. I haven't been able to do that. My walking has specifically been limited to and from a bus stop to home and or work, which has meant I've had to take a lot more taxi cabs than I would have otherwise wanted to, and of course those are a lot more expensive. The bus costs $2.50 a ride. Walking is free, not including cost of walking shoes perhaps that eventually do wear out on you. And the cabs anywhere close, even 3 kilometers, is like $15-20. So we're talking about thousands of dollars lost. And not to mention, I guess, physical pain. Productivity. I mean, I work as hard as I can when I'm at my paying job, as well as when I do volunteer work. And everything I try to do in life, I put my best effort out. But if you're not getting a proper sleep and you're in constant physical pain, you're probably not going to be as productive as you otherwise could be if your injuries are treated. I don't think we understand fully the indirect consequences of the Great Canadian Waiting List. I suggested I might sue the government and put that on Twitter. And there's a little bit of feedback saying, go ahead, do it. We need someone to stand up for this. At the same time, I realized that the legal system is not easy to negotiate. I would know. I've worked in the legal sector for a long time. And again, time, energy, efforts, expertise. It's not easy. So we make YouTube videos and hope that somebody watches them. That's what we do. I mean, I don't know if a knee injury is going to get a lot of attention on YouTube. This myth of the Canadian healthcare system, someone calling it out publicly and saying it's not all it's cracked up to be, even if it's someone who's somewhat famous like myself, well, maybe at the local level. I do have some notoriety for a variety of reasons. Being trans, being a marathon runner, being a political candidate, doing all three of those things together makes me a bit of an anomaly. I've got a little bit more news attention than other marathon runners otherwise would get, or political candidates perhaps. But yes, I am me. I am a human being, and I have an injury, and I'm expecting quality health care because we have this great so-called government system. They collect all of our tax money because they know how to spend our money better than we do, allegedly. And here we are, sitting on a waiting list for yet another day. And it's really, really, really becoming annoying and frustrating. And it's really, really pissing me off. I don't know if I have another political run left in me. It's tough running a political campaign and being the candidate, doing most of the work yourself. But if I ever do get involved in politics again, healthcare reform is going to be part of my goal. We're going to look at, first of all, we need mechanisms We can't just delegate. We can't create a federal Canada Health Act and have nobody ensure it's enforced. And that's the problem we have right now. The Canada Health Act is a piece of paper and nobody does anything with it. It's just there. Ultimately, that's got to be where things start, at the federal level. Saying, oh, we let the provinces decide for themselves what their healthcare system's going to look like. Well, that's no longer a Canadian system. Now we're talking at a provincial level. We have a Newfoundland system here, Newfoundland Labrador. Don't forget Labrador. Although if I was Labrador, I might want to leave Newfoundland because Newfoundland sucks in many ways. But that's a whole other video. We won't get into that. Anyway, if you have a story you'd like to share with me about your experience on the Great Canadian Waiting List, I'd love to hear from you. Let's make this a thing. Let's all do videos about how terrible our healthcare system is. Maybe enough people will take notice and do something about it. Anyway, bye for now. That has nothing to do with healthcare. I just thought I'd throw that in there for comic relief. Woof.